Welcome back to Flophouse Slays, and right now you are watching the video I couldn't write, but this is what it sounds like, and that is a horror movie review, a slobber knocker of a horror movie, that is Sadako vs Kayako, once in a lifetime. And tagging with me today to do said reviewing is the incomparable Super Eyepatch Wolf. Wolfie, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Matt. I just had this bizarre realization. You know when like everyone on social media during this time of year changes their like name to like something spooky? I've never been able to think of anything ever once. And just as you were giving my intro there, I thought of, well, what about Eyepatch Werewolf? And like...
Took me a second.
That took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to think of that. And I
didn't do one this year at all. I just plain forgot about it. Now it's too embarrassing to put one in, like, 19 days into the month. So
I put something on Blue Sky. Let me check my Blue Sky. I can't remember what Eyepatch Wolf, but like spooky or a ghost or something. Okay, well, I did not try very hard with that.
You eventually run out. You really do.
Yeah, or you eventually come up with your first one, as we just witnessed.
That history in the making here, folks. Always here on Flophouse Slays.
Yeah, next year when people are like, man, Eyepatch Werewolf, I wonder how John thought that up. People are going to be able to be like, oh, if you actually listen to one of last year's Flophouses from Matt, there's the whole story in there. It's crazy.
You can see the gears turning in his head just as it happens. Yeah. All right. Well, we're reviewing this. Have you ever heard of this particular film before? I have a feeling, like, I was just talking to someone the other day and they're like, that happened? Sadako versus Kayako, The Grudge versus The Ring? When? Why? And I was like, I'll tell you all about it later in the month. You'll see. But what are your memories, or if there's any at all?
Oh, I mean, no, I am connected enough to horror that this came on my radar as soon it was announced. It's one of those things, it's been on my list forever, and I just needed something to actually nudge it. And I'd never heard anything about this movie. I didn't hear if it was good. I didn't hear if it was bad. I just didn't hear anything about it. But I mean, like, it is logical, because I remember the first time I watched The Grudge, and I think The Grudge is like an incredible movie, just like really, really great. But like, as those closing credits are scrolling by, my immediate thought was, could she beat the shit out of the girl from The Ring?
I thought this after a while. Well, after Freddy versus Jason, obviously. So like 2003. So when Grudge sequels and Ju-on and Ring sequels are all the same movie, really. We're starting to really come out in the 2000s. That's when I did think, like, I wonder if they'll ever do that. And I was like, no, they'll never ever do that. But again, but like, once in a lifetime.
With Freddy versus Jason, those are both meat men in a way, Freddy gets his ass kicked. Jason occasionally gets his ass kicked a little bit. And it's like, you can envision what it looks like, Freddy versus Jason. And like, it's a fun matchup, Matt, because it's like, it's the magic user versus the strength build, right? Like, it's interesting. But like,
these are two ghosts.
Kayako versus Sadako, it's like, well, they kind of just scare people to death, right?
They'll have a scare off?
Do you know what I kept thinking about as I was watching this movie? Do you remember, I think it was last year, there was a match in AEW, and it was Julia Hart, the spooky cult's sister, versus Abaddon, who's like a spooky demon girl. And it was not like, I love both them. I think they're both great, and I think they're both getting like better and better and better. But I was watching that match, and I was kind of just sitting there, and eventually I was just like, yeah, spooky versus spooky is really hard, isn't it? Like, it did not work at all.
It seems like on paper they're like, oh, that would be great, you know, but like the forces have to be opposing in some way. At least like Jason versus Freddy's, like one's really big, one's from a dream world. Like, you know, they again the smaller builds, like you said, and this is just like the AEW match in that they're very evenly matched. Their move sets aren't terribly different. So
Jason has a machete, Freddy can rap. It's like they have divergent skill sets.
Freddy can play video games, like he's good at that. Jason is like, what's a video game? You know, there's a dichotomy there for sure, but not so much in some matchups, and this is definitely one of them. So let's get right to it. Sometimes called the Freddy versus Jason of horror movies, Sadako versus Kayako, released in 2016, which is somehow almost 10 years old now. What is time?
The Dark Souls of video games.
This was directed by one Koji Shiraishi, who had a long career in horror filmmaking in general, but I wasn't aware until today that he was the director of another film called Noroi the Curse from 2005.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that multiple times.
You've seen that, yeah. It's really, if anyone hasn't, it's just this really interesting mix of like a true crime documentary plus found footage with, you know, it's kind of like almost Blair Witchy in that way, where it tries to convince the viewer that it's real, and it's a lot more solid of a script and an idea than our film today is.
Yeah. I guess a lot of this movie spends time being like a competent, if not exceptional, Grudge Ring movie, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the last like 10 minutes, but I suppose we'll get there.
But here's the thing, even that preamble, even the competent mixing of both, it was the 11th and 10th of both franchises up to that point. So this is like, there was 11 Grudge films before this, just Japan.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that. And 10 Ring movies?
Yeah.
Wow, those late sequels must be something else. And how many TVs can that woman crawl out of?
All of the she's got to upgrade to plasma, then she has to go like LCD, then she's got to change all these formats, and I'm discounting the American versions of both, by the way.
Do you think there's a point where Sadako like saw the failure of HD DVD and she was like, "Oh fuck, I spent all this time." She's
like one of those movie companies that's looking at both discs in either hand, going, "Which one? Oh god, I gotta pick.
It can only haunt
will people adopt?"
Yeah. No, porn just adopted DVDs.
I was thinking something similar along the lines, but. Yeah. So yeah, 10 Grudge films up to this point. This would make the 11th one in the Grudge series. It's considered part of it. And if for those of you who are still not familiar about Ringu/Ring, remember this is Sadako/Samara in the West. And she is, of course, as we said, the long-haired woman that crawls out of TV sets after 7 days whenever someone has watched her cursed VHS tape, a gimmick that was heavily parodied all throughout the 2000s. And she recently had a Bishojo figure that I keep forgetting to buy.
That figure's so sick. Like,
you have it.
I get that. Like, I don't have it, but watching this reminded me that I want to buy it again.
Yeah.
Because like sexy, cute Sadako shouldn't be a thing. They did a really good job. It is, and it's just a great figure.
Yeah. So yeah, what is your history before we, I just want to go like, what is your baseline on the Ring franchise?
So with the Ring, I think I watched the Ring a long time ago, but so long ago, I'm not sure if I've seen it.
So it was like 2002, the American version of Ring, which is the first version I saw, and then
this is the thing. I can't remember if it was the American, like it was literally like 2002, so like 23 years ago, and I can't remember if I've seen the American version or if I've seen the Japanese version. I genuinely, I just cannot remember. And I wanted to rewatch it for this, but I hadn't. I watched The Grudge much more recently, like about 5 or 6 years ago, and I kind of always thought that The Grudge was just going to be like a Ring ripoff, I guess.
Mhm.
And you know, I guess there's an argument to be made for that. I loved it. I thought The Grudge, the first film, was fucking excellent, and I think there's a Matt, I'm sorry. I'm going through the Wikipedia page here. Can I read every Grudge film?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Ju-on, The Grudge. Ju-on, The Grudge 2. Ju-on, The Grudge. Ju-on, The Grudge 2. 2004, The Grudge. 2006, The Grudge 2. 2009, The Grudge 3. 2009, Ju-on, Black Ghost. 2009, Ju-on, White Ghost.
Makes sense.
This one's really brave. Ju-on, 2014, The Beginning of the End. 2015, Ju-on, The Final Curse. 2016, Sadako vs Kayako.
And then finally,
The Grudge
from 2020. Technically,
Beautiful.
there's also a television series from the same year as The Grudge 2020, just called Ju-on Origins 2020. So that's kind of the complete thing. Yeah.
There's also 2 short films I'm reading here. The first one is called Katsumi and 444444444, and the 2006 one is Tales from the Grudge.
Yeah, so
but
Katasumi is like the director's original like kind of pitch short film, and that is what got the money or the green light to make a film. So that was like his first like a go at the material, you know.
Yeah. I might have to work my way through these, Matt.
I have seen, I want to say almost all of them, but like 1 or 2, I'm like, I don't remember seeing like the beginning of the end, for example. But I very much agree with you. I thought the first Grudge was like because I'd already seen The Ring at that point, so I was just kind of comparing them to. But there's a certain thing I prefer about the Grudge specifically. I think it's like a little bit more creepy. I like just putting my bias out there. I prefer Kayako to Sadako just a little bit more. And the American version,
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Just the American version with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I much prefer the makeup effects on Sadako there. Like they really gritted her up. Like she's just more rotting and everything, and just a little bit more money was spent there. And so I really, really prefer the way she looks there. I believe it was the same actress. And everything after that is kind of just a wash. Like maybe the second American movie is okay. The third one is awful. And then after that, I kind of lost track of things.
I think what I like about horror films, though, is I find like even in like a garbage horror movie, you can usually find like 1 or 2 pieces that are really like one of my favorite garbage horror movies, something I watched recently, the 1997 TV version of The Shining.
I mean, me and Quarantino watched that like a few years ago. It's great.
So it's so good. Like it's schlocky and dumb in so many ways, but I find there's a scene in that where you actually see Danny go into room 237 or 217 in that version, and it's like fucking so scary.
It is. I think
it's like
it.
Jesus Christ. It's like that one bit is like a nightmare, and the rest of the series is The Shining if Hallmark made it.
It's kind of goofy. Yeah. No, yeah. I know exactly which scene you're talking about, because I remember in 1997 watching it, just going like, oh, I can't watch this. This is so scary. And that I had watched that version before the Kubrick version, way before that. So, yeah, there's always, it's fun, like finding the little pieces that you like or scenes that you like. Even like horror is one of the few genres that I find can do that. Like everything else is kind of like either evenly sort of done. And because sequels are such a thing, sequels, remakes, reboots, like it's interesting to see those little changes and little scenes that stand out. But yeah, going back to The Grudge, also very similarly, like I said, 11 Japanese Grudge films, as Wolfie just went through the list of them. There are 3 American versions up until the release of this one, and then the other American movie, which is another reboot from 2020. So we need to find out, with all of this history between both ghosts, how do these two femme fatales finally lock horns? We will witness it all in Sadako versus Kayako Payback. We're probably going to have a title screen here, like when Homer fought Dedrick Tatum. Sadako has paid her debts, and now she wants revenge on Kayako. Explosion. So starting off, we have a cold open, which starts much like the Grudge films. Welfare worker making a check-in on an elderly patient in a creepy house that's in disarray, and you immediately get blasted by Ringu because there's an old CRT TV turned on with static playing and a VCR. And we get a quick tease of what we assume is Sadako, as she kind of just does this glitchy instant transmission sort of teleport. Just because, like, oh wait, well, which one is which now? Because they both have super long hair. Their faces are usually obscured. They're wearing white. Like this is this is just a mirror match. Like even on paper.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's like you've picked the like Persona 4 Ultimax Shadow version.
So
like one walks kind of shitty and the other crawls.
One walks really slow and has like a straight back, and they're just got their head turned down, and one is Cirque du Soleil. So that's the main differences in their idle animations. We then cut to Seian University, and a professor is doing the common trope of explaining urban legends to the class, which gets us up to speed a bit if you're not familiar with either movie franchise.
Or just ghosts in general. If you've never heard of a ghost, this is a fantastic scene.
And a specific ghost called the Split Mouth Woman, which happened to be the basis of one of this director's earlier films, just called The Split Mouth Woman. And she's also one of the tougher enemies that you fight in Ghostwire Tokyo.
She is also a boss character in oh god, what's it called? It's the World of Horror, which was a really, really cool game.
Yeah. So yeah, that Split Mouth Woman, very, very common. Why can't any reason why we couldn't do a 3-way dance? Why not?
Well, to me, it's like she's the stinger, right? It's like, okay, Sadako, you got the DQ finish, and I'm here to take that fucking belt. And it's the Split Mouth Woman. Or
Sadako wins, but then Split Mouth Woman cashes in.
Oh. Matt, what are we doing recording podcasts and not writing scripts?
Well, we could fire up WWE 2K14 and start make a pay-per-view. But yeah, if you're not down for the wrestling references, leave the video now. Anyway,
oh yeah, you're fucked. Like, I'm sorry, my friends, but I mean, you clicked on this video, so
should have known. There is a versus in the title. So the professor goes down other legends, including the House of Death and cursed videotapes, and labels these as memes passed down between people for years, which gives them their infamy, their power. He then,
but he means like Metal Gear Solid 2 means, right?
Exactly. As soon as he said it, I'm like, Japan only means it in the way that Hideo Kojima means it. He also reveals that he's a Sadako fanboy. He wants the tape. He wants it real bad. It's stuck in his head. He can't wait to go home and think about the tape. He hopes he can meet Sadako one day.
There's literally a moment in this film where he's like, well, I'll probably die, but I really want to meet Sadako.
I can change her. He basically states that incidents involving the cursed tape, which he believes is the only urban legend that's real, but he's noticed that cursed tape incidents have dramatically decreased with the rise of DVDs and Blu-rays. That's the best.
Do you think Sadako was sad about that?
I would imagine she actually just doesn't know what's going on. She's just like, she's looking at the calendar. She's like, I've got way less curses than I did just a few years ago. People are just not watching the tape.
She's got like the bar graph is going down, and she's like, what the?
Am I shadow banned?
Yeah.
Was there a copyright claim? What's happening?
Hey guys, please engage with this.
She has to release a video. It's just saying, I need help. So yeah, I still couldn't believe that he said this, and that like the rise of technology is just bringing Sadako's body count down. Anyway, our two main protagonists, or two of the three, students Yuri and Natsumi, are barely staying awake during all this plot. And right after that, we are introduced to our third protag, Suzuka, and her family. They're moving to a new house. Guess which one it is? Now, this is insane to me at first, because you're like, okay, well, why would you ever move to the house that has had dozens of missing people or straight up murder cases associated with it? I don't care how cheap it is. I don't care if the husband was like offer like, oh, you can, this is basically 100 yen.
I see this moment with the real estate agent when they're like, well, now how many people died in the vicinity of this house?
67.
And the real estate agent is just like, it was a few, all right.
Purple drapes. All my life I've wanted purple drapes.
It was more than one. It's less than 100. I can assure you that. But fortunately, the movie subverts all this by saying, no, the family's moving into the house across the street, because it would be insane. It would be insane after 11 movies for it to be otherwise, because there's just no way. So the murder house, the grudge house, sits abandoned. But Suzuka, in a way that I don't think is ever explained in the movie, seems psychically sensitive. Did you get that? Because it only happens maybe once or twice where she just grabs her head and she's like, no, how can this be?
Nani? Yeah, I think she is sensitive to the other world, and she's kind of drawn to the house as well. Like she kind of wants to go in.
Yeah, but she like just doesn't decide to until she randomly decides to later. But Sadako's quest line gets introduced far more directly here, because Yuri and Natsumi are going to the place where all horrors converge, the thrift shop. They need a VCR to transfer some wedding footage. I don't even remember, like Natsumi's mother or...
Yeah, I kind of lost the plot with the wedding footage. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, but she needs to transfer VHS footage to DVD, so they need a VCR which to do such, therefore thrift shop. And thus they wind up with a deck. We should always call VHS's or VCR's decks. I love saying deck. And there's an unlabeled tape inside the VCR that they find. And I do appreciate how they're zooming through this quickly. Like we just got to get things started, even though after that it kind of meanders for a little while with some scenes that don't really push anything. But anyway, the girls bring the VCR home. They decide to play the tape, but just because of social media and our phones, Yuri just looks down at her phone just as Sadako pops up on the tape. So it's only Natsumi who watches it. here's where
did you find that like bizarrely like frustrating? Like,
because Yuri's the one that pushes to watch it.
I guess it's kind of like, okay, look, she saved her own life, but it's also kind of like, you know, when you're watching something with someone and they look away at the cool bit, and you're like, I think it brought back too many memories of that for me.
And it was her that was like, hey, let's watch the tape. Natsumi didn't, she's like, oh, I don't know. And then I feel as soon as the play button is pressed in a Ring movie, even when the static starts, there's a spell, a transference that's going on, whereas you can't just look away unless something really crazy happens in the room physically. Like, I think like a trance state happens where your eyes are kind of glued on it. So it's funny that she just starts the tape, the static starts, and then before anything really happens, she just happens to look down at her phone. I was like, I don't know about that. And more in the realm of I don't know about this is that somehow the 7-day expiry date has been thrown out the window, and we are reduced to the Grudge curse lasting only 48 hours. What is your take on this? Well, I think
with the downturn in deaths caused by Sadako, she's kind of she knows she doesn't have much time to waste here. She wants to get that curse out of the way so then she can jump onto this is a logistics thing on Sadako's end.
I think similarly. The only other explanation I have is maybe the VHS tape is just degrading. The curse is weakening because of this somehow.
I could see that.
But at the same
it's like unable to contain her.
Yeah, something like that. Because it's again like the Freddy thing, Freddy versus Jason, where it's like I'm just weaker. But at the same time, the curse zooming up to 48 hours makes it seem like she's even stronger. But there's never any explanation given to this. Maybe in a previous Grudge movie they established that. Maybe that was put forward as a plot thing, and they carried it over into this movie, but I don't remember that ever being a thing. Anyway, I think they also just accelerated this. It's like the same thing while some Aliens movies go, oh, it's no longer 24 hours for someone to get a face hugger to implant something. Now it's like 2 hours, you know? Might be just be like a movie thing. Anyway, meanwhile, back in Grudge World, Suzuka is given more lore about the death house from some classmates and gets sufficiently spooked when they give her a tarot card reading at the same time. And while they pull her the death card, that's not so bad because that means change or renewal and is thankfully not nearly as damning as the happy squirrel. Yuri and Megumi try to return the tape, but the thrift store owners, who were also recently affected by it because their part-time employee jumped off from some scaffolding with a poorly executed swanton bomb. The girls...
So when we didn't see the swanton bomb was when I was like, oh, okay, we're working with a limited budget here.
Also because like she jumps, maybe 10 feet? She's just dead from that, and
like it would have had to been a nasty fall to kill her.
Her head.
And I would like to see it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I guess
So the movies on both sides, I find like they're inconsistently gory. Like one or two will have like some pretty gnarly deaths, and then others have really kind of, you know, not censored deaths, but like ones that leave it more to the imagination a little bit. So this one kind of straddles the line, but you know, it's going to get goofier as it goes on. Don't any of you out there worry. The girls then decide to see their professor because he's literally their only recourse next. So Professor Oak then tells both of them that he'll watch the tape as it's the only way to be sure as to what to do next, because again, he's like their only like option at this point. The tape itself only displays a burnt out house now with a single door, and it doesn't have the iconic well from the Grudge, from the Ring movies. I don't know why this is. Why is it now?
Yeah,
with a door?
I found that really strange because like one of the just most iconic parts of the Ring is that tape and the weird shit you see inside it, right?
Yeah, but now that the production values are down, Sadako can't get the David Lynchian style images and stuff anymore. So she's back to basics here.
In one of the scary movies, there is like it's a Ring parody.
Yeah.
And they have like the haunted videotape, and it's really stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of fucking spooky as well. Like it's much goofier, but because it's like a different kind of weirdness, you know?
Right. Yeah. I need to do a rewatch of those, especially since I think they're actually making a new one. But yeah, I do remember that being a thing. Like, yeah, we're trying to make this goofy, but we still did it well. Like, we filmed these in a spooky way.
I will bet those films have aged in, let's say, interesting ways.
Yeah, probably. Sadako's back to basics. So now we just have her slowly walking out of a door. Anyway, he watches the tape. He seems pretty jazzed about it, and they're not exactly sure how best to stop this. So the professor randomly suggests an exorcist, which I'm sure will go fantastically well.
I assume so.
Yeah. Next up is another grudge scene in which Suzuka walks past some bullies that are doing a little bullying on some twerp on the down low. So they basically dare him to go into the death house, to which Twerp-kun encounters Toshio, Kayako's ghost son, who reveals his gimmick, which is jump scares, neck grabs, and cat noises.
Okay. Matt, I have some questions. Is Koshio a cat? Is he a werecat?
I do have somewhat of an explanation for this. As Toshio is getting drowned by his rage-filled father, he was also killing their black cat at the same time. I think he was either drowning the cat or had killed the cat in the same room. So I just think those two entities are just linked together. That's what I got. That's what I got.
Because I always saw the Grudge as like, there's kind of levels to the house. Like the level 1 boss is the little cat.
Yeah.
Level 2 is Koshio, and then level 3 is Kayako.
If you really wanna get into it, level 2 is Toshio in human form. That kind of lures people in, and then he goes like, a level beyond. And then becomes Ghost Toshio, and then Big Mama shows up. So I think there's like a sub level in there too. Maybe not in every movie, but I find like more often than not he appears as a regular little boy. But yeah, just him and the cat. I don't think the cat is ever even named, but Neko-chan here. That's our first little jump scare here, I think, on the Grudge side. But anyway, I do appreciate how they're upping the stakes by putting kids in harm's way for once, which I think has happened very rarely in either franchise, if at all. It's mostly always adults or college students, etc. But again, this scene didn't really push anything. These kids the bullies wander in to see, because the little kid that was dared to go in kind of gets possessed by Toshio, it seems, and then he lures the bullies in, and I guess it's just to up the body count a little bit. That's all I really got for this scene.
It did kind of... This scene did remind me of, I guess, one of the reasons I get such a kick out of The Grudge, and I just feel like the rules surrounding The Grudge
are very vague.
So unfair. Like,
it's overpowered.
It's like, okay, say with like say with The Ring, you generally you can stumble across the videotape after be given it. It looks like a fucked up videotape. It looks haunted. You have to find a VCR, put the play tape into the VCR, play it, watch it. There's a certain not particularly fair.
It's not.
But there's a certain amount. There's a certain amount of engagement where you fucked around and you found out.
Yeah. You
know? And while the death house doesn't really look like a death house, it just looks like an old house.
Yeah.
Where no one lives. But it's like, you walk in there and you're dead. You're just dead. No matter what you do from that point, you're fucked because you stepped foot in this house. Even if you leave the house, you're still dead.
In Grudge 3, the American version, the curse travels to America. Someone brought it home. You cannot go away anywhere else. The videotape, you can just leave it in your house. Just leave it alone. That's it. But yeah, the grudge is OP. The grudge is OP as shit because it doesn't really matter what you do. One foot stepped inside and like you're basically fucked. So I don't know what that means in terms of the movesets, in terms of which ghost is more powerful, right? Because I think the ring is much older. Like, I believe Sadako died when she was 19 or something, then lived in the well for like 30 years. So maybe that's much longer, more powerful entity versus the Grudge, where I believe it's like just a few years when the movies start before Kayako's death. But but her curse seems like it's way worse, like you just pointed out, Kayako's. So.
I mean, if we're going to break them down in terms of fighting game characters, I would see Kayako as a or Sadako as like a slow-moving grappler.
Yep.
In that she moves very slowly, but when she gets you, you're fucked. And I would see Kayako, she's kind of like setting traps.
Yes, she's a trap character for sure.
She is the no-face guy from BlazBlue.
Yeah. Voldo from like Soul Calibur. So Professor Oak,
wonderful.
He seems to be the real deal because he's contacting this exorcist. He seems to believe that they can handle this. Although the professor's still on more of the it is what it is side of things, because he's like, just save Megumi here. I don't care if I really die. You pointed out this earlier, but I'd really love to see Sadako, so that would be awesome. So we're going to get this exorcist scene. Did you have any weirdness with your subtitles in this scene?
My subtitles were not great across the board with this movie. I bet we're thinking of the same thing here. There's a bit where it translates this woman's like mystic, like Taoist, Buddhist, I'm not quite sure which, Japanese chanting as abracadabra. I
have expecto patronum and avada kedavra.
Adavra Kedavra. Yeah, that
so
is what I had.
Just throwing Harry Potter into here. Okay, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't want to put the effort into translating it, just put rhythmic chanting. That's all you have to write.
Rhythmic chanting. Perfect. Yep.
Subtitlers. Anyway, as you'd expect, this exorcism doesn't go particularly well. I guess Sadako's curse just now decides to defend itself at any time by killing people that haven't even watched the tape now. Because they kill Sadako kills the helper monks and then the head exorcist. Professor Oak starts grappling with her, and these are real graps, by the way. What happens when he starts grappling with the possessed exorcist?
It doesn't.
Can you explain this bit?
It doesn't go. Okay, can I explain it? No. Can I describe it? No. It doesn't go great for anyone. One of the shrine maidens reaches up and snaps her own neck.
Yeah.
And it's that I was like, okay, I'm having fun. We're doing some stuff here.
It's kind of here where you're like, I don't think this is going for necessarily like super creepy, vibe. I think it's going for something a little more madcap here, because when Professor Oak grapples with the head exorcist, she does like a headbutt to him, and for a split second his face like rubberizes and it gets all stretched out.
So I paused on this so many times. He gets like Looney Tuned Tom and Jerry flattened.
It's like when the two ghost people make scary faces in Beetlejuice when they show what they can do. They're like, and he like, well, what was this? And the camera doesn't linger on it. I swear it's like 5 frames long. Like, I think if you search for this movie in Google, like this frame will pop up because it's the most like WTF of the entire movie. It's almost the entire movie. Anyway, during this exchange, this exorcist then blurts out that a better exorcist is on his way. And he's the only one who can do it. It's
okay,
like,
Matt.
Yeah.
This is the coolest fucking guy of all time.
I know it. I have it written here. It's like Wolfie will like this JoJo character that shows up.
Yep, that's true. That is complete. I was like, okay, and like his little girl assistant, and she's fucking awesome as well.
She's like a fashionista.
It was so cool.
You know?
Yeah, she has got like such a good character design.
His helper character. Don't worry, a better exorcist is on the way. It's like when Mr. Burns died, and then he was transferred to a better hospital, and his condition was upgraded to alive. So Yuri then decides, being the more selfless of the two, and because Megumi basically guilts her into it, she then decides to watch the tape. Because Megumi hands it over to her, which hopefully transfers the curse, but that doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. That's what the rules used to be, but now I guess that's not happening. And again, they do this because it's the only other move they have, because now the exorcist is dead, the monks are dead, Professor Oak is now dead. So our new exorcist, Wolfie's favorite character, Kaizo, arrives. And we're kind of diverging into campy territory here. He's very eccentric. He's got the psychic child sidekick. He knows
This actor is so good at pretending to cast spells.
Because he's doing like Hamon-esque hand movements now.
Yeah, he's practically doing like, it's like, you know, the Naruto hand signals. It's that, except with one hand.
Yeah. He's like, I can do it with one hand, no problem. So I can see the pitch meeting for the script here, and they're talking about Kaizo, and they're like, Kaizo is a funnier character than we've ever had before in these franchises. So we can get Kaizo working. He's going to be the key to all of this.
We can push Kaizo.
So this would-be savior Kaizo then tells the girls that just let us investigate for a bit. Megumi has 1 day left because we're working on that 48-hour clock. So tomorrow night, her ticket will hopefully be, well, not hopefully be punched. That's mean, but her ticket will be punched by Sadako. So they have only like about 12 hours left. We're back at Megumi's house. Where are their parents? They don't have parents, either of them.
They're away. They're
just both parents.
They don't have time for this.
That's fine. Yuri decides to take a shower to take it all in, to decide how she's going to deal with this. And we get a random Grudge style scare now. I'm not sure why, because she's not doing anything with the Grudge. They don't even know about the Grudge house.
No.
So what are we doing here? I
think they were like, oh, we need a beat. Like we need a horror beat here.
Yeah.
Fuck it. But I actually quite like the visual of the hair covering the top of the shower. That was kind of awful. Like that was kind of rad.
It's always strong, but again, by the end, we're now at the 11th movie. They've kind of done the shower thing several times.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and also the American movies, but I'm sure they're not really counting them in regards to making more horror beats. Anyway, while she's taking the shower, Megumi has turned heel, and she's going for Seth Rollins' old burn it down gimmick by using a burned copy of the tape that Professor Oak made and uploaded it to YouTube for all to see. This is happening, folks. This is a real thing.
Yeah, I think I kind of lost the plot. Why did she upload the tape? Is it to save herself?
No, I'm angry. That I'm the only one dying from this because she's in the throes of despair, you know?
Well, I would say maybe like trying to self-preservation would have been the better way to go there, but you know what? Sure, that's fine.
Because she doesn't say I want to transfer the curse. Like it does make sense. Like, well, if like 1,000 people see it, or even whatever, if we can get this trending, on YouTube, I have a better chance. Sadako will be all distracted and be like, oh, there's so many new people to curse. But I don't think there has been other there has been other Ring movies that have done this, saying Sadako is on the internet, she's expanding her brand. I don't think it can work like that. Like, it has to be a cursed physical object, you know? Like, the internet can't contain ghosts.
I think, like what you were saying earlier, the way Sadako is, like, much older than Kayako, I think part of her specific horror is she is from, like, this older, weirder time.
She's analog.
And, yeah, exactly. And I think you only have so much room before you start getting too cute with that, you know?
I know it's like, well, we need to evolve with the times. Someone's watching VHS tapes, but it's like, I don't, then just have versions in the past. We don't have to go into the future. Anyway, it'd be really funny if YouTube flagged it for copyright claim.
And Sadako's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
This video has been blocked in Japan, Portugal. Anyway, Megumi wants to take her own life now before Sadako can take it, which I guess is fair.
So, okay, Matt, I wanted your read on this bit. How much is Megumi, like, possessed here? Like, is she just losing her mind? Because I nearly felt like there was an element of, like, oh, she's kind of, like, been tinged with evil or something because she's acting so strangely.
I think there is. It is not expanded upon in any official way. The Kaizo or even the Exorcist did not say anything to that effect. Like, oh, because of the 48-hour curse, like everything is amplified, and she's like, because it's like in the other movies, the other Ring movies, the 7 days gives you a lot of lead up to get more and more in despair. You know what I mean? Like more and more scares, more and more getting more and more frightened. And in here, it's like, I guess they're like, since they're accelerating the time frame, they're accelerating the person's mood. But again, it's never really stated. We're playing very loose with the rules here. So that's my only thought on it. They just need to get these things moving faster. So we need things happening. We need more and more beats. And I guess Megumi suddenly going like, hey, I'm just going to end my life before Sadako gets me. But doesn't seem to do anything because Sadako gets the last laugh in the end. She just arrives early. There's no countdown. It seemed like we're still a few hours away, or at least like even more than that. But Sadako, okay, I don't want you to stop my curse, but I'll kill you anyway, but I was going to kill you tomorrow.
Yeah, like, I feel like the week, it kind of gives, like 5 stages of grief thing, you know? Where it's like you have time to go through, like, an emotional arc.
Yeah.
But with 2 days, it is just like, well, I got to do something about this because I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And it's, like, there's a dread that gets lost in the 2 days, I think.
Exactly. And I understand, well, we have a whole other ghost/curse to explain and to set up. So maybe that's why they did it to the 48 hours thing, because we can't have 7 days of these characters constantly doing plot when we have a whole other story to tell. So that could explain it. Anyway, so Sadako arrives to give Megumi one last big frighten, and she has the stereotypical like, I saw Sadako face, which is always like in the grips of terror.
I don't actually like it when Sadako shows up and it's not business time.
Yeah, she's just randomly lashing out now.
Yeah, and it also, there's a few instances of like a real pet peeve of mine in horror films, and it's when the camera sees the ghost and the character doesn't.
Yeah, this happened a lot in this one.
Because I just kind of feel like when that happens, like, okay, what just happens in the fiction of this world? Like, because it's nearly like I think if a ghostly presence is there, there's more interesting ways to do it than just like having the ghost in the background. But it nearly feels like you're taking all the ambiguity of what the ghost is, because you're saying, okay, there is a physical ghost in this room right now and you can see it. Whereas like, I like it better, I think, when ghosts occupy this weird kind of like middle ground where they kind of exist in your perception.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and it always takes me out of it a bit when I see that.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, this seems to happen a lot in this one because they don't know they just show the ghost for 3 seconds and then nothing happens when we move on to the next scenes. A lot of quick cuts again, I guess, because they're trying to cram so much in here. Anyway, so Kaizo and Psychic Child randomly decide to just do a quick pop in at the murder house. Okay.
Yeah. I think they're just very confident they can take it.
Yeah, but it's like I guess if they're ghost hunters or you know, like high-end exorcists, I guess they just know about the Grudge house. But anyway, they do that. Then they tell Yuri, just as she's, you know, crying over Megumi's death, that their theory is that one curse could cancel out the other and wipe each other out like a vaccine. I don't think that's how that works. Do you think that sounds like a plausible thing, like a plausible plan of action?
No, I think he's just like, but it'll be fucking cool to see, won't it?
I'm going to record this.
Yeah.
I'm on the grind here.
So yeah, it's like, you know, it's kind of like the conceit of the movie or whatever, but it's yeah, okay. I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. I do like when the little girl is talking about I think she's talking about Sadako, and she's like, it's just infinite darkness. Like, she has one or two pretty kind of nice little lines in there, just like saying about how evil this person, this entity is.
And you could have gone more into it. They could have explained their backstories a little bit more and, like, you know, give the ghost a bit more mystique again, but they don't really talk about them. They're just like, yeah, it's a curse. That's about it. So we cut now to Suzuka, who gets up in the middle of the night after endlessly teasing us and finally says, fuck it, let's check out Kayako's gaff.
Yep.
This late night wandering also wakes up her parents, who, like, you know, this is her parents' second scene, I believe, in the entire movie. She enters the house and goes on a conveyor belt of scares. Until her ma and pa find her, which of course seals their own fate because they entered the house. And as we described, the Grudge house is very OP.
Like, Matt, there's an element of it like, no, you stepped foot in the house. That's it. No more second chances.
I think it has to be, you need to take your shoes off first. If you have your shoes on, you're still kind of outside, you know. So Toshio just shows up, performs Quan Chi's neck stretch fatality from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and then we're finally treated to Kayako's full entrance with pyro and her theme song.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah. How familiar are you with Grappler Baki?
I've dipped my toe in here and there.
Okay, I would say, first of all, that is like one of those pieces of media where if you were to go all in, I am quite confident you would be in love with it. But there's a character in that where he does the Toshio head perch.
Yeah.
And then basically, like, imagine a clock going around. He spins in a circumference holding the person's neck. That's all I could think when I saw him do this.
And this is his move. He pulls this out like a few times. So yeah, it's his finisher.
Does he use this outside of
I've never seen him do
this movie?
No. I'm not to say that he doesn't, but he doesn't even really attack people. He does scares.
I think that's why I found it kind of odd. Like, it's a bit like if Sadako performed like a pile driver. It's like it's like, I don't know that she needs to do that, you know.
Riptide. Kayako finally shows up, and with this entrance, it's like, I just think she's just scarier than Sadako. Sadako, very strong, but she mostly just slowly walks, climbs out of a well and just kind of grabs your face, and then you're just dead. And just, you know, the cracking sounds of Kayako's body, the voice, the little cracking stuff in her voice that she does, and the whole Cirque du Soleil.
Watching her go down the stairs is like spooky as hell.
It's very scary when you watch the first few Japanese movies and even the first American version. So that's my preference, but you know, still they're both near and dear to my heart. So Kaizo and crew then suddenly appear and pull Suzuka out of the front door, and her mom tanks the last hit from Kayako, which means our pro tags have finally synced up 85% into the film. That is way too long. That's what you call a
balanced script. Yep.
Yeah. I'd say maybe 70%.
This is a crazy amount of time for like the main plot to kind of start, you know what I mean? And like up until this point, like I can't stress enough, this has been a fairly normal one of these movies.
Yeah. Fairly up to this point. So Suzuka wakes up in a room. The crew explain their plan to pit one curse versus the other in what they hope will be a double KO, or at least a no contest brawl to the back. Hopefully,
or maybe like one of those third strike points decisions.
Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still eerily similar to Freddy versus Jason, where the humans use themselves as bait to like sort of draw both entities out of their hiding places at the same time, and hopefully their egos or their desires will cause them to fight to the death. I can't really fault this logic. The thing with Freddy versus Jason, that Freddy, being of these four villains, is the only one that can talk. And like the only one that can cut a promo and get like things going and say like, this is
he can draw heat. He can draw heat.
And no one else can, because everyone just doesn't say anything. So he does a lot of the heavy lifting in Freddy versus Jason, explains like what's going on, what my plan is, but no one has a plan here. It's just these ghosts just kill whoever is nearby or interacts with their medium. You know, so
did you ever hear that for a while there was a Candyman versus Leprechaun film on the table?
No, I've never heard this.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think it ever got into any serious stage, but no, that was something actively being pitched for a little while.
Oh, man. I love Candyman getting more exposure, but against Leprechaun, I'd much rather he be against like Pinhead or something. Michael Myers.
Yeah, because Candyman's kind of like about stuff.
Yeah.
Leprechaun.
The pride of Ireland. The pride of Ireland.
Less so, you know?
You can get Jennifer Aniston to show back up again. You can get all the legacy characters.
Yeah, she loves that she was in those movies. Did you ever? So I watched all the Leprechaun movies last year, Matt. And you know what? I will say there is a surprising lack of racism towards Irish people in those movies, except the third movie.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the third Leprechaun movie?
Is the third one in space?
No, it's in Las Vegas.
I have not seen this one then at all.
Okay, so first of all, banger movie. It's great. I love it. It's such a good movie. But for some reason, the Leprechaun operates under like vampire laws in this one. Okay. So if the Leprechaun bites you, you become a leprechaun.
What? No.
Yep. And so someone gets infected with
the leprechaun virus.
The leprechaun virus, yeah. And immediately starts going, oh, potato. It's just, oh, no. But yeah, I still love that movie. The third Leprechaun movie is legit so good.
Okay, I'm gonna jot that one down, because I had watched a reboot one from not too long ago, 2019 maybe or something, and it was so nothing.
I don't want to turn this into a Leprechaun cast,
but
was it Leprechaun Origins in ancient Ireland, or was it the one with the sorority house?
I want to say a sorority house.
Okay. That one's not great. The one set in Ireland starring WWE's Hornswoggle is just awful.
Wait,
it's
no,
so
maybe
bad.
which one is that then? Because I think that's the one I watched.
So in the one I'm talking, so the reboot one, it's the first one without Warwick Davis.
Okay.
That isn't the WWE one, and it's fine. It's like he terrorizes a bunch of college girls. It's grand.
So 2014.
Okay, let me look this up. Yeah, the 2014 one is the one set in Ireland.
Okay. Yeah,
and that's the one where you barely see the leprechaun.
Okay.
And he's more like a feral monster than he is like that is starring Hornswoggle.
I love Leprechaun in the Hood and then Leprechaun back to the Hood. That I haven't watched them, but I love that as that is Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers.
Yeah. Yep. It's so good.
Okay, all right. I'll put it down for next Halloween reviewing at least the Las Vegas. I can't believe this. Anyway, we have to go back. We have to travel back from Ireland back to Japan here.
What about Sadako versus the Leprechaun? There now. That's gonna put some butts in seats.
That has to put butts in seats. Like, there should just be a big monster mash. Just get a Royal Rumble going of everyone, right?
Can you imagine the pop for Xenomorph?
Yes, pop for, and then like everyone jumps out of the pool, and Xenomorph and Predator are left in the ring.
Oh fuck yeah! I think Predator and Xenomorph's your two big guys clearing out the Royal Rumble at 15. Yeah. And then they do the thing where they both kind of like back up and then they bump into each other's backs and they both turn around. I think yeah.
So right. So Suzuka woke up and they lay down the plan for how we're gonna take on these two divas. So Suzuka will watch the curse tape inside the Grudge house, while Yuri will also enter the house for the first time. So they're getting double cursed, both of them. It'll be like when they take in so many diseases and curses simultaneously that none of them can get through the threshold of their soul.
That is the idea.
So now it's time. They say like, we're going to do this tomorrow, and then just bam, it's nighttime again, even though it was just daytime when she woke up. So a bunch of hours are just now missing. It's just nighttime. So now it is time for the Boneyard match. Within seconds of Suzuka watching the video inside the Grudge house, the building starts getting electric. Toshio appears immediately, and then Sadako jump scares Toshio out of the TV set, and Toshio sells it. Whoa! I couldn't believe this.
Oh my god! I was shocked when the ghost started. I thought we were gonna get maybe like spooky teleporting or so, but no, they're kind of kicking the shit out of each other for like a second here.
Any physical altercation is just, it feels so awkward. Because like
the hair wrapping was cool.
That's the most fighting game thing that could possibly happen in here, where it's like, and also it at least goes into Sadako's powers, which are all hair based, but so are Kayako's as well. But this hair then drags Toshio into the TV, and like gonna use another term here. This is the bollocks we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Because it's been leading up to this. We've been getting hints of it, but now this is that last magical 10 minutes where we're like, we didn't know what we were doing with this. We got to this point, and we don't know how to handle it.
I would have loved more of this.
Yeah.
I would have loved an extended sequence of the girls wandering through the house and Sadako and Kayako like sniping each other for these girls.
Or, like level 3 supers, and let's say an Arxis game or many, it's like, when a character gets teleported into that character's super and there's like a whole sequence. Like, I would love to see Toshio inside like the VHS tape, and he's like trapped in this dimension, and he's like, you know, there's all these other avenues you could have take, but like, yeah, in this last 10 minutes, we got to get all our shit in. And it just goes by way too fast. So
yeah, for sure. I think I am disappointed that this is not a goofier movie. And it's already quite goofy, but it's not like you have to really wait for it, you know? And then like, you know, the psychic characters and stuff are fun, but I wanted more bombast. I think I wanted a bigger, crazier movie here.
And well, we'll talk about it when we get to the end, but it feels like that's maybe what they wanted to do. But anyway, hey, Wikipedia is, of course, you know, edited by users and everything, but this is what it says. Sadako vs. Kayako is a 2016 Japanese supernatural comedy horror film. So fans have, or maybe the director said like, yeah, we're trying to go for something a little goofier, but like, you know, on Wikipedia, at least it's categorized as a comedy horror movie. But, and this last 10 minutes certainly, brings that home because, right after Toshio getting dragged in, like just as that sequence is finishing, we now, Sadako and Kayako lock horns. They grab each other. It's very dark in this scene. And then Kayako looks like she kind of loses that exchange.
Yeah, she does. She
She just kind of flumps to the floor. I don't know.
I was reading up about this movie, and they did a Twitter poll, like during the marketing of the movie for like, who do people prefer, Sayako or Kayako, or Sadako or Kayako? And Sadako won. And I wonder, did they shoot it both ways and were like, okay, fuck it, look, just make Kayako lose this section.
It's like the famous rumor of the original Godzilla versus King Kong, where they filmed two endings. Like they'll play one in American theaters and one in Japanese theaters, even though it was.
I did not know that. That's so fun.
It was a rumor. There's no other double ending. It's just what people thought that they were doing.
Because they did do that for Clue, that film.
Yeah. So
super fun film as well, actually.
It still holds up. But yeah, like Sadako kind of Kayako just kind of goes away, just disappears for a bit. And then Kaizo immediately gives up on the plan. He just starts screaming into a cell phone. This has failed. It won't work. Anyway, let's just sacrifice one of you and seal you into this well in the backyard, head home and wait for all this to blow over.
Listen, I got some good news and I got some bad news.
Like, give it a chance. Like, the fight has barely started. It's over. Abandon ship. Like, give it. Anyway, it was really frustrating. You can see how fast they're blowing through this because the girls are already outside. There's a well that's inexplicably in the backyard that has we've never even seen the backyard of the Grudge house.
So for a minute, I felt like they were, for a second, and I realize they're not doing this now, they were implying that is the well from The Ring. And it's like, oh, in both series, we just never panned to the right or left. You know? It's like, oh,
that would
actually... I get that's not it, but
that would be really silly, but I actually would have liked that if they said, screw it or whatever. But no, they just happen to have a well there, and they're like, well, you know, Sadako, like, she's comfortable in wells now, so we'll seal someone in there at the very least. And Yuri actually says, yeah, no, I'll go. So she stands on top of the well, she waits there, acting as bait. Kayako and Sadako see her. They sniff the air. She's over there. They start running.
They edge Roman Reigns simultaneously spear each other.
Superman punch into spear. Yuri jumps at the last second and curse splat. They kind of explode.
Kind of, but also kind of fall into the well.
She is down at the bottom of the well now. She looks up but no, the ghosts have now fused into a pile of hair and eyeballs. My God. The fashionista girl, psychic sidekick girl, tells Suzuka that she needs to close up the well now. Unfortunately, the ward on this well isn't enough to contain this new being called Sayako, which is what I would have called her. But according to official sources, this new being's official moniker is Sadakaya. And no to that.
Real Vegito energy there. Like Gogeta sounds kind of cool. Vegito is no.
If you were to name them, what are you going for?
I think you got to go something else. I think you have to call her like the Abyss or something.
Oh, it becomes like
Yeah, because so like this was fun, but I did have some problems with it, and I think the biggest one is just a kind of like, these are both ghosts that can instant kill you. Like, the idea that they're now more powerful, like, I get that they can break free from the seal on the well, but, like, I think what could have been fun here is, like, say if that psychic was able to, stop Sadako or Kayako, or like do something to be able to defend the girls from them throughout this movie.
Right.
And then this is the ghost that's able to break through that. Like, I think it really needed some escalation or something, because I'm guessing this ghost, and we never see, which we'll get to that. But I'm guessing this is another ghost this is a third ghost woman who I'm guessing can also instant kill you. It's just like, okay.
So it's the same being. It's the same thing. Like it, you could have gone 1,000 different ways with this. Like it could have been like, a brand new monster. You had your little field trip to Ireland for Leprechaun. Allow me a brief field trip to Spider-Man world, because in Spider-Man Edge of Time, Venom, Anti-Venom, Dr. Octopus, and a third person all congeal into a new being. And it's crazy. It's like almost horror-esque. And they have to name it something else. And it's not just smashing of two names. So they just call it Atrocity.
Oh, that's a good Marvel villain name. That's right up there with Onslaught.
Oh, I was about to say Onslaught. So that is like where I was also going with this, because at the end of the day, when this well still opens up because the ward is not powerful enough, which I like, this new being arrives, and it is just Sadako's body, but with Kayako's moveset or her idle animation. It's just Sadako's body with the movements of Kayako and Kayako's voice. That's all it is.
Sadako has mobility options now,
which is nice. Glad for her. Glad for her to unlock new things this late in life. But
at the same time, the solution to beating Sadako wasn't like run away from her.
Yeah. And if you've played like the Evil Within 1 or 2, there's all these like or even the Ghostwire Tokyo, but for Evil Within, like there's several long-haired Japanese ghost women that have crazy designs, like multiple legs, and their hair is like dragging on the ground, or ones that are like really big and have like all these tools and other faces popping out. And it's like, we literally just gave the animation rigs of Kayako to Sadako and called it a day.
I mean, I think even some extra limbs would have gone so far here.
Yeah, would have really helped. And so it's very underwhelming when she pops up. And just as she pops up, the psychic girl is going to help Suzuka stop this monster, since we still have 10 minutes left in the movie. No, we don't. Cut to credits. Fuck you. It's over. This is bullshit.
Matt, what the fuck? I think I saw this happened, and I said, like, I audibly said, Jesus Christ, Matt.
I honestly, I'd watched this once before when it came out. It came out exclusively on the Shudder streaming service that AMC owns. And I forgot that it was this brief, we have a whole, maybe 5 minutes of, Suzuka running back into the house, the psychic girl following along with her and giving her advice and saying like, do this, it's your last chance. And then, Sayako explodes and then there's a hint that she's still alive, cut to credits and we're out. Everyone go home happy. But no, it's almost like the last second of any horror movie where they go, oh, the ghost, the monster, the threat is still alive. Like, after there's an ending, that one little stinger, but no, that's just the end of the third act. There's no... Yeah,
it's also like that if we never got a full horror movie before it. Exactly. I thought like, okay, we are now entering the climax. What? And it's just done. And I guess the implication is that the new ghost is so like powerful that it can
stop the movie.
Stop the movie.
Because that's the only thing I can think of.
It's not great.
Did you see the DLC scene?
No.
So yeah, end of credits. There's a post-credit scene. Guess what? It's absolutely nothing. It's just the VHS tape running that we've seen 1,000 times already in the movie with the door opening, and Sayako steps out and does a few steps and then looks at the camera, and then we're out. So
we're cursed now.
Yes, I'm assuming. So even the DLC ending, which I would have been like, okay, well, let me see what you got. Maybe there's another little twist you can do. It's like, no, it's just this. It's just this little bit. The only way this ending works, is if they had filmed 2 movies back to back, and the next one literally starts up right when this one ends. Again, going into Lord of the Rings territory, right? That's the only way this works, and there was not a sequel. In fact, both franchises really petered out after this. Not to say this was the cause of it.
Matt, we can say this film killed both franchises.
Didn't absolutely kill it. It's just content slowed down way down.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
yep.
Listen, and I'm sure you do as well. I like getting my expectations subverted. So the thing I thought was going to happen, we're going to have a big showdown with this new entity and we run into the house and we find out something and some clever trick is done. That did not happen. So you subverted my expectations, but you got to do it with something, good or satisfying. And the fact that the movie just ends just as you feel like, oh, I want to see what happens next. And like, this is awesome. It's like Jason X, where he turns into the metal-faced Uber Jason and he steps out with this new Jason look and he's like a cyborg, and then the movie cuts to credits. No?
Oh man, I did not know that's such a bummer. Wow.
No, that doesn't happen. But imagine if that's how they handled it.
Thank God. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw a bit of that movie. Good.
Yeah, this super cool new form, it just gets shown to you, and then no, that's it. That's the movie. That's what this does. Baffling.
Yeah, totally. Now, all that said, like, I don't think this movie is like a disaster. I think it's like it's reasonably competent in what it's trying. There's a few like spooky bits, but I think the best thing to come out of it is the Kayako Instagram account.
That advertised it?
Yeah, there was an Instagram account set up where it's Kayako and what's the little boy's name? Toshio. Kayako and Toshio just being like normal, and like Toshio like eats an ice cream and gets brain freeze, and Kayako's like, oh no, and it's like, so there's like that I think is more interesting maybe than what the film ended up being. But like, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. Like it's the only egregious part of it is the ending.
Yeah.
I think.
So the only thing that like, yeah, the main body of the movie does wrong is it's a little repetitive in that we've seen a lot of these scares before, but like you said, they're competent enough. Like there's nothing egregiously bad here, but just having a really funny, fun, dumb thing being set up right at the very end, only for the movie to just end right there. It's like, I like literally did you have no more money left? I feel like that is the only other excuse as to why that would happen. Like promising such a cool thing and then just instantly stopping the movie. So yeah, after this 2016, there was one American reboot film for the Grudge. It was pretty solid. It wasn't amazing, but it had some haunting visuals in it and was a little bit of a different thing. There was the Japanese TV series called Ju-on Origins that was in the same year, which was a very slow burn, but very good because it really got into the trauma and backstories of the central characters and like their families and stuff. And the Grudge was just kind of mixed in there. That was a very solid watch. And as for The Ring, there was the American reboot from 2017, I believe, called Rings, plural, which has to be the worst of any of these. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Vincent D'Onofrio as a plot dumper who's just like, get away from here, you kids. You can't handle the ring. And it's just the most...
awesome.
Hollow, nothing, not scary, boring. It's just kind of unwatchable. Over in Japan, there was the double feature from 2019 called Sadako, and then its immediate follow-up the next year called Sadako DX.
Hell yeah, man! Like Sadako, but she's got like tribal tattoos or something.
So both of these were much more like in the realm of almost comedy. It is what I mentioned before, where it's Sadako trying to reach into the internet and there's bloggers involved and they're all trying to stop her. It's like, wow, both franchises really ran out of steam here because all these follow-ups didn't. I'd say the best of them is Ju-on Origins, the Japanese TV show. But yeah, that's the end of this film.
That's the thing. Wow. Okay. I mean, look, we're both proprietors of horror schlock, and like this is an oddity. This like it is interesting. Like despite all our criticisms of it, I'm glad I watched it.
I'm glad it exists.
I'm glad it exists. Exactly. And no, it's not the greatest horror movie in the world, but like. It's ultimately something like the curiosity of just having to see it, you know, it's like, well, what the fuck is that going to be? And boy, do we have our answer.
Yeah. And you called it right at the start of this, basically saying you have these two ghosts that are so similar in their powers and movesets and they don't physically, you know, fight anything. How do you do this? And like, I guess they couldn't figure out a way to make them do it either. Because there was a little bit of a tussle, and then that was it. You know, it was barely a versus. But like, you know,
even imagine like Jason or something against Sadako, and it's like obviously very silly, but I think creatively you would have so many more options about how to depict that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could have him swing at her and like the machete goes through her and then it's just her like her dress and it's like she's not actually there. I'm sure you could do fun bits with Jason getting trapped in like the television dimension and all this kind of stuff. Like there's you have options, you have a dynamic. I think, yeah, the problem at the heart of this movie is ultimately it's two fire type Pokemon shooting ember at each other.
It's exactly what it is. But yeah, like you, I still felt like the most of it was solid stuff, and it's just the ending that's disappointing. There was a lot of potential here, but they didn't go in the ways that were the most interesting things you could do with either franchise. But I think both women are absolute divas. They deserve all the happiness in the world. I hope they make up.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope they make up and put their differences aside. But yeah, like I would say it's a mild recommendation from me. Do you feel the same?
I think if you're into horror and like, I think specifically if you are into like and I say this lovingly, the garbage of horror, which I very much am. Like, I love a goofy horror movie. I would say it's worth seeing. I could absolutely see me, like, sitting down some friends to watch this and them being like, why did we watch that? You know, like, there's definitely, there's a lot more to horror here, but I think it's one of those things where it's nearly like the situation and story surrounding it is nearly more interesting than the movies in some ways, because it's kind of like, okay, these are both old series. We have done everything possible. What if we try and revitalize them by putting these two properties together? Like, you could probably write a thesis on the nature of horror movies and sequels and base it around this movie.
Yeah. And it seems
so, like, it's okay. It's not like a great movie. It is an interesting movie on a couple of different levels, I think.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And it's like the other versus movies, AVP and Freddy versus Jason, and that, like, it didn't kill either franchise. Like, they still made a few more of these, like I listed them. But, Friday the 13th kind of started going again with a remake, as well as Nightmare on Elm Street. AVP still continued in various guises, but it took a while. And this is a 2016 feature, so I wouldn't be surprised if they still, either of them, come back in a few more years.
I think they'll come back.
It didn't
for sure
kill it at all, but just okay, that ending, though.
Matt, you got AVP, you got Sadako versus Kayako, and you got Freddy versus Jason. I feel like one more versus movie, and you have an 8-person tournament.
Ooh.
Who are you putting in those final 2 slots? I feel like one of them nearly has to be Michael Myers, but
that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Michael Myers
versus the hotel from The Shining.
Michael Myers versus Jaws.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
No.
Finally, we've defeated Michael Myers by dropping him in the middle of the ocean.
Let's see him get out of this.
Culmination of this movie you have to have a scene in this movie where Michael Myers is riding Jaws back, machete or like knife in the air, riding towards a city.
That's the poster. That's the poster right there.
I, the mayor of Los Angeles, would like to open this new intercity waterway.
No, you have to close it down. There's a madman riding a shark. I would think Michael Myers versus Ash from Evil Dead. I think you have to get him in there at some point.
Is that because you need a face in the tournaments?
Yes, I think you need a face, and there was supposed to be originally Freddy versus Jason versus Ash as a concept that was floated as a movie for a little bit.
Oh, that would have been fun.
But they couldn't get it together. They just all the rights holders they weren't able. But it did become a comic book, an official comic book. So there is that. But I would like an absolute. Face or cool heel at the very least in there to sort of balance.
Is there like a modern thing you could put in there? Because you couldn't really put like It Follows or Smile in there. They don't really fit.
Art the Clown, perhaps.
Oh, that's it. That is it.
Maybe Ghostface.
Yep.
Maybe Ghostface.
I think the thing about Ghostface is it's just a dude, or lady, But yeah, I Matt, where do you fall on the Terrifier movies? Sorry, I know I'm rambling just as we're trying to wrap up this podcast.
I'm not the biggest fan, just because the movies themselves are just not that interesting. Like, it's just there's nothing there. Like, almost every slasher villain has something to them, and the movies are not interested in telling us anything about this character. So it's just an exercise in access. And that's not enough for anything to be memorable. Like, I'd say, like, Smile or The Black Phone recently have much more interesting, like, central threat. Like, at the end of the day, all I know is that Art the Clown is also just a guy.
I think he's a demon.
You think, or is this said anywhere?
I think there are short movies predating Terrifier 1.
There is actually
that go into his like lore or whatever. But yeah, I love the Terrifier movies, especially Terrifier 2. But when someone tells me they don't like it,
you're like,
I am immediately like, yep, I get it. Yeah. I totally get it.
Yeah. No, I have not seen the third one. I just saw the first two, so I was kind of like, yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm gonna say that the third one is not gonna change anything for you.
No, I thought it might, but then when I was talking to people about it, they're like, it's a third movie. It's not gonna change.
And I would say not quite as good as 2, which I just love the vibe of 2. Mm-hmm. I think 2 has a really weird atmosphere and look, and I just kind of appreciate it. But yeah, I get it. Oh,
there Matt, we have it. We did it. Mr. Wolf, I'm sure everyone knows where to find you, but just in case they don't, where can they do that?
Well, look, I'll tell you, if people are looking for some spooky Halloween t-shirts, I'm just after dropping a new collection over on eyepatchwolves.com. The t-shirts are absolutely terrifying. I've had several staff members lose their minds from just looking at these t-shirts. Yeah, but if you think that, if you're brave, maybe head on over to eyepatchwolves.com and check them out.
Very nice. And thank you again for everyone tuning into this special Midnight Movie Madness edition of Flophouse Slays. We're in our last week of October here. We have a few more surprises, so please stay tuned.